The learning theory that we are using for Group 1 is a constructivist theory, and we have the history strand, which includes 3 subcategories. They are historical figures, important historical events, and holidays and celebrations. The most challenging part of developing this activity was figuring out a way to include all the components of the history strand and working with a limited amount of in-class time to work on the assignment. Viewing the strands as a vertical team allowed us to see what we should prepare our students for down the road and what to build on in the higher grade levels. Before this activity, I was not aware of several of the historical figures featured, and it was interesting learning about them and their contributions to society. It was interesting as well to learn the origins of many of the traditional celebrations and holidays. As far as the accommodations listed in the second part of the activity, we all have a way in which we best learn. Odds are every student in a class has a different preferred learning style, which can make it difficult to teach effectively. However, by trying to incorporate various methods into my teaching, I hope to reach a majority of my students. But first, it's important to recognize the different signs and examples of and ways to recognize which learning style works best for a child or student in your classroom. Someone with visual learning style has a preference for seen or observed things, including pictures, diagrams, and demonstrations. They will use phrases such as "show me" and "let's have a look at that," and will be best able to perform a new task after reading the instructions. In my classroom, I can incorporate maps, graphic organizers, or checklists for my visual learners. Whereas someone with an auditory learning style has a preference for the transference of information through listening to either the spoken word of self to others or sounds and noises. These students will use phrases such as "tell me" and "let's talk it out." And I can engage my students in conversations or discussion about the material to meet the needs of auditory learners. And traits of kinesthetic learners have preference for physical experience, such as touching, feeling, holding, and doing practical hands-on experiences. For these students, to best fit the needs of these students, you could use role play or dramatized concepts for the kinesthetic learners. These are just a few examples of the different things that can be done to meet the needs of all students in the classroom